Hey guys, what's going on? Today we are going to be talking about silver like we do about once a week, every single week. Today is Monday, and of course we've had a pretty big market silver drop today. And last week I released a video where I discussed how I believe that silver probably won't be going down in the physical form below $20 an ounce again. And of course that's including premium. So, if you do see silver drop into 17 and 18s, I personally believe that even with the premiums, at least for the very, very foreseeable future, it's going to be very, very hard to get silver under 20. Of course, that's my personal belief. That's my opinion. So don't use that as financial advice. Do your own research, blah, 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 disclaimer, etc., down in the description below. And really quick, before we get into this, guys, I do want to say, if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe so you see my future videos as well. And don't forget to click the bell for all the notifications so you don't miss any that come out. But that video last week specifically, I want to go back to just a little bit. Of course, I just told you my thoughts there. I had a couple of comments come through that, I wanted to respond to here and kind of give my thoughts on what they're saying. And you know what? They make pretty valid points. And one thing about these two comments I wanted to say really quick before we get into them is I did remove them from the channel. Not because I'm trying to hide the comments. In fact, as you can see, I'm going to be showing them on the channel here and responding to them. So it's certainly not a situation where I'm trying to hide the comments from people. I just don't want someone to go over there and start an argument with them, because everything here is about talking about silver. It's not about getting into arguments, but I just want to kind of give my opinion. So the first one that I have right here, we'll go ahead and read this off. It says, "Come on, don't fool yourself, Silver Seeker. The big dealers," and I did talk about this in the video, by the way. He said the big dealers were definitely holding out on some of their inventory. APMEX has boatloads of silver, and suddenly they were out of stock on almost everything. I guess about 1 billion new buyers came into the market overnight. Doubt it. They rip off the general public daily with the highest premiums while holding." All right, so a couple of things there. And the first thing is APMEX. Yes, APMEX generally has the highest premiums on a lot of stuff, but you can get very, very good deals on there. As you guys have seen, I've done unboxings on my video where I've actually gotten some pretty decent deals. But we're not going to get into APMEX because I'm not in disagreement. I mean, of course, APMEX, some of their premiums are pretty high on some things, and you can certainly get silver cheaper elsewhere for a lot of stuff, but the same can be said for every site. Not every site's going to be the cheapest on everything. Sometimes they'll have a big buy that they can sell a little bit cheaper, and they'll be able to beat out so and that's the same for every site. The thing I want to bring up here specifically is how he was talking about dealers were holding their inventory. And my argument with that is, while that may be true, I'm not going to say that I have a crystal ball or that I can, I can read other people's minds or thoughts, or I have the inner workings of these big companies out there. But I just know from experience, from the experiences that I've had, especially back when silver dropped. I mean, when silver dropped, 13, 14, and even got back up to $15 an ounce. But, when it had that initial drop, everybody got interested. I mean, not everybody, but for an industry like this, a lot of people got interested. A lot of people were buying silver, myself included. In fact, I was kind of telling people, hey, it's a really good time to pick it up. Even with the premiums, it's a really good time to pick it up. And some people listened, some people didn't. And that's okay. Again, it's just my opinion, and I don't want people to make all of their buying decisions based off just what I say. Now, the reason that I kind of disagree with this, the reason that I think that it's possible that they actually were sold out, is because right after this happened, right before the drop, or right at the drop, I should say, right before everything closed down for COVID, as you know, I had an interview with a dealer on the phone who was actually at a coin show, and he said that everybody on the floor was not selling. So there were a lot of dealers holding, yes, at the coin show. That's absolutely correct. He said he was even offering above spot, and nobody was selling him anything. And that's totally understandable, because this was right as the drop happened. Within a day or two, nobody really knew what was going on. But as the smoke kind of settled, as the dust kind of settled and the smoke cleared out, you notice that a lot of these silver rounds, these silver coins, the premiums started to really, really climb. At that point, when you're looking at, let's say silver was trading for around $18 an ounce, it dropped all the way down to 13, climbed up to 14, 15, and hung out there for just a little bit before we started to see it move back up. But at that point, the premiums were so high that even if with the silver that they were selling, or if they were holding the silver, I should say, it was selling at such a high premium that it was actually more expensive than it was before the drop. So, you were looking at $17 an ounce silver, and you could get generic rounds for, 90 cents, $1 over spot, depending on the quantity that you bought. And then now it drops, from 17 down to 12, 13. and now you're looking at $8, $9. So at 17 plus 45 cents, let's just be generous and say plus $1. Let's say it was $17.50 plus $1, it was 18. Now you're at $14 an ounce, $15 an ounce, and the premiums are plus 8. Now you're looking at 23. So even if it was 18 plus $1.50, that's 19. Now it's 23. So what company wouldn't sell? What company at that point, when the premiums were so high, would just hold on to the silver and say, you know what, I'm not selling at these spot prices, even with the premiums as high as they are? It wasn't that, these companies had everything in stock and the premiums were just so high that nobody wanted to buy them. They quite literally didn't have anything. Like, everything was out of stock. Everything was sold out, besides a few like super high premium pieces that people didn't want to go that high on. But all of your generic silver, everything was gone. Even Eagles were gone. Maplers were gone. It was all gone. Even with those premiums, why would any company that's out there to make a profit, to pay their employees, to pay their bills, depending on the company, to pay their investors or create a profit for their investors, why would they hold? They wouldn't. They would sell, because of course they're going to be able to purchase more contracts, take delivery, get these rounds made in the future. What actually happened was, in my opinion, again, I don't know for sure. I can't read minds, but to me, what looks like happened is that silver went down. COVID shut the mines down. You had a lot of these bullion dealers that were on short staff as a result, and they were shipping out everything they could, and they just didn't have the opportunity to replace it. And so the mines are down, the mints are down, the ones that are producing the rounds, and added to that, such an increased demand. I think we actually were in a situation where it just wasn't available. I don't think there's a conspiracy theory there. I don't think they were holding for greed. Because if they were holding for greed, why wouldn't you just put Eagles out on the market? Eagles were going for like plus 12. Why wouldn't you just sell them at 13 plus? Even if it was 13 plus 12 is $25 an ounce. 17 plus 4, let's just be nice, or 18 plus 4 is $22 an ounce. Let's say you were paying plus 4 for Eagles before all this happened, and silver was 18. You're paying 22. Now you're paying 25. Why would they hold it? So that is my argument against that. And the second quote right here kind of says the same thing. He says the dealers were not selling at 14 an ounce. That is a fact. But as soon as the price ran up, they found plenty of silver to sell. It was just greed. Just like you will never get spot price when selling silver. It's a con, just like the banks. You can't call the kettle black on this one. I don't think it was a greed situation. If it was greed, they'd be selling and they would just put the premiums on them, it's already 12. Let's just say APMEX wants 14. Why not just put it up at 14? If people buy it, they buy it. If they don't, they don't. The silver was in such high demand that, they could have placed plus 14 on Eagles and probably sold what they had. So I disagree. And additionally, he says, just like you will never get spot price when selling your silver. That is not true. We did a video where we called, businesses or other coin dealers, and they were one dealer was offering over spot for generic. One dealer offered I don't even remember, $4 or $5 an ounce over spot for Eagles. And that was when silver was already up into the mid 20s. So that is not true. When silver was down at 13, 14, 15, all these guys were paying $2, $3, $4 an ounce over spot for generics because they knew they could turn around and sell them for 7 or 8 like that, just that quick. So that's my argument. That's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about today. I don't personally think, of course, I'm sure there are situations out there. Not everything's going to be the same. I'm sure there were some people that were holding, but I think overall, the majority of, especially the big companies like JM, APMEX, SD Bullion, and all those guys, I think they were just genuinely out. All right, guys. Well, anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, those are just my thoughts. I'm sure I'll get quite a few dislikes from this and probably a couple of hate comments, and that's because I love you guys and you like to return the favor. I know it. Well, either way, thank you so much for watching, guys. I appreciate it. We will see you next time. Hey guys, I want to say thank you so much for watching the video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did and you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell notifications so you don't miss my future updates. I also want to say thank you to all of my channel members scrolling on the right-hand side of the screen for making videos like this possible. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day.